focuses on the brutality of Gavin's indifference during her final moments. Tell her to die quietly, I'm busy. That is the last thing I hear my husband say. Linda, my housekeeper, is sobbing into the phone, her hands shaking as she tries to explain that the blood soaking my bedsheets is real. That I am actually gone. But Gavin doesn't buy it. His voice blasts through the speakerphone, impatient and dripping with ice. I don't care what stunt she's pulling now, he snaps. Tell her to contact me only when she's signed the divorce papers. The line goes dead. Linda drops the phone, her face crumpling in horror. She looks at my body, young, pale, and cooling in an empty house, and then at the silent device. She can't process it. How can the man I loved for 10 years treat my death like a nuisance call? I didn't expect him to cry. A pathetic part of me hoped for a flicker of hesitation, maybe a pause in his breath. But there is nothing. Just annoyance. My phone buzzes against my cold hand. It isn't Gavin. It is Kinsley. Hazel, are you finally dead? You're pathetic. You know Gavin doesn't love you. Faking suicide to delay the divorce? You're cheap. Her texts flood the screen. Even if you actually died, Gavin wouldn't spare you a glance. Do us all a favor and just go. So, this is how it ends. No one mourns me. My husband hates me. His mistress is celebrating. My spirit drifts near the phone. I want to ask him one last question. Do you remember the vow you made at your mother's grave? Years ago, he gripped my hand in front of her tombstone, the mother who jumped off a building because her husband was a serial cheater. Gavin swore to me, knuckles white, that he would never be like his father. He said if he ever cheated, he deserved a horrible death. I never thought he would break that promise. And I certainly never thought I would be the one to die a horrible death instead. Now, sirens wail outside. The police are calling him. He isn't picking up. I know where he is. He is at that same grave, probably holding Kinsley's hand, stepping over the promise. Kinsley claimed they'd been together for 3 years. Thinking back, the signs were neon red flags. The phone ringing at dinner. The vague excuses. The hurried exits. Our anniversary. My birthday. Even the day I lost our baby. It was winter. Freezing. I was lying in that hospital bed, my insides feeling like they'd been scooped out with a rusty spoon. I couldn't stop crying. Gavin sat by the bed. Then his phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen and shot up like the chair was on fire. Work emergency, he muttered, already halfway out the door. Kinsley later told me she sent that text. She smirked when she said it. You know, Hazel, you losing a baby wasn't as important as me catching a slight fever. So why ignore her now? I'm dead. He should be popping champagne. The dead weight is finally gone. The police ruled it natural causes. He doesn't need to perform grief to dodge a murder charge. I remember the day I got the diagnosis. I sat alone on a cold plastic chair in the hospital hallway. My hands shook so hard I could barely hold the phone. I dialed him. He didn't ask why I was calling. He just barked. Hazel, I'm swamped. I don't have time for you. Tears streamed down my face, hot and silent. I looked up. And there he was. The man who was swamped. His face was soft with tenderness as he supported Kinsley, her hand resting on her small baby bump. He saw me. Zero panic. Zero guilt. Just a blank stare. Then Kinsley said one sentence, just one, and his indifference turned into rage. She clutched her stomach, eyes instantly filling with crocodile tears. Hazel, are you here to kill my second baby too? I know I shouldn't have come between you and Gavin, but the baby is innocent. You already killed my first one. Please, Hazel, I'm sorry. I just want to be with Gavin. I don't need a title. Just please, don't hurt my baby. She made a show of trying to kneel. Gavin caught her, pulling her protectively into his chest. When he looked at me, the tenderness evaporated. His eyes were ice. Hazel, don't you dare try anything. If anything happens to her or the baby, I will destroy you. He roared at me, completely missing the smug grin Kinsley shot me from the safety of his arms. I gripped the diagnosis paper until my knuckles turned white. My chest hurt. I couldn't breathe. My vision blurred. It was a bright spring day, but I was freezing to death from the inside out. I opened my mouth to speak, but a metallic taste flooded my throat. I swallowed it back. I refused to spit blood in front of them. I refused to show weakness. I didn't need anyone's pity, especially not theirs. Gavin's glare deepened when I stayed silent. Kinsley, cradling her belly, let out a sob. A single, perfect tear rolled down her cheek. She played the victim perfectly. Hazel, please. Stop harassing us. Just let us be. Her voice carried. Heads turned. The whisper started. Have some dignity. Chasing a man who doesn't want you? Pathetic. Look at her clothes. Probably a mistress trying to wreck a home. Young girls these days. No shame. Kinsley fed off the crowd's energy. Her voice grew louder, bolder. Hazel, I love Gavin. I love this baby. Can't you just leave us alone? Gavin told you it's over. You already got rid of one of my babies. Are you trying to kill this one too? How can you be so evil? My lungs seized. I couldn't breathe. I tried to stand, but my legs were jelly. I looked at Gavin, pleading with my eyes. Asterisk, take her away. Please, asterisk. He just stared. Cold. Unmoving. Then it happened. I retched. A torrent of blood erupted from my mouth, splashing onto the pristine hospital floor. The crowd gasped. Gavin froze. But his eyes weren't filled with concern. They were filled with suspicion. Hazel, what the hell are you doing? Even now, even with blood on my chin. He thought it was a trick. I had no fight left. My soul was tired. I just wanted to leave. I turned to go, but Gavin grabbed my arm. Hazel, explain yourself. Not once, the entire time, did he look at the paper in my hand. He didn't notice my clothes that used to fit, hanging loose on my body. He didn't see how pale I was or the fresh blood staining my lips. It was so obvious. Yet he still asked why I was at the hospital. He always did this. Asking questions he already knew the answers to. Always doubting me. Just like with Kinsley's first pregnancy. I told him 1,000 times. It was an accident. He never believed me. A year ago, Kinsley showed up at my door, heavily pregnant. She told me they'd been together for 3 years. She said Gavin didn't love me anymore. That he only stayed out of guilt. Because my parents died partly because of him. Sophomore year. We had a massive fight. A senior confessed his feelings to me, and Gavin saw it. He accused me of cheating. In a fit of rage, I broke up with him, which only convinced him further that I had someone else. It was our first real fight. I was a mess. My mom called. She heard the devastation in my voice. Worried sick, she and my dad drove through the night to come see me. They never made it. A car crash took them both.